Top of the morning to you, my dear sons and daughters of the soil. Please excuse my rather heavy on attire today, but it is rather cold in the Sa Majesté estates. However, today is not a day in which I will be entertaining you with a conversation about the weather. Instead, let's have a look at the new form of gambling that ArenaNet has just added in Guild Wars 2. Indeed, gambling is the source of everything in this game, and we didn't quite have enough of it. Ecto Gamble, Missy Forge Gamble, Black Lion Chest Gamble? But wait, what if we added another gamble inside that gamble? And that is exactly what has happened today, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a new item added to the Black Lion chest since yesterday. This new vintage Black Lion weapon box is the newest idea from the ArenaNet department of making people lose money, which is one of the best departments they've ever had. And in this box you can find nearly 600 different skins that have probably an even chance of getting, some of which are rather on the expensive side and some of them are terribly cheap. This new vintage Black Lion weapon box can be found in the current Black Lion chest. Maybe it's gonna stay longer as an uncommon item, or maybe not. However, we can hope that it does, because I think it's gonna have an interesting effect on the economy of skins. Speaking about the economy of skins, this is a very nice transition into how I will be organizing this video. My first point will be about explaining the vintage Black Lion weapon box, how it works and what you can expect from it. The second point will be about whether or not it is a gamble you should attempt, because yes, in Guild Wars 2 it's not always gambling, sometimes it's just statistics and probabilities. And then finally, the last thing we should talk about is whether or not this is gonna have an effect on the economy. But before that, I'll be leaving you guys with the intro, and right after it, a little bit of Black Lion Key Gamble. Alright, we're back together with this Black Lion Key Gamble, and the reason why I decided to have this facecam on today is so you can see the expressions of pain I'm gonna have as we get going with the gamble. So very quickly, what I want to get is one of these vintage Black Lion weapon boxes so that I can roll for it, but if I happen to get some of the Mad Realm skins, I'm not gonna be mad for it. I still need to unlock the entirety of that collection, and this is going to be a very important point as we get into talking about the vintage Black Lion weapon box. Sadly, I think... oh, actually I can also get the entirety of the Endless Oceans. Alright, let's gamble and see what we get. Well, for once I would say that the Black Lion chest has delivered, but I can still understand the cowards among us preferring to do it while the testing is available, because then they wouldn't be losing their hardened Black Lion keys. What's important to see right there is I got a Mad Realm skin, an Endless Ocean skin, and I also managed to get a Glyph of Reaping. Now, all of these being what they are, that is to say items coming from a Black Lion chest, it is of utmost importance that I would hold on to them until they rotate out of the Black Lion chest, and then I can sell them for a higher price. Indeed, so far the best way to do things was to put buy orders for these cheap skins coming from the Black Lion chest, and also to put some buy orders for the slightly less cheap skins that were being introduced as being ticket skins. to further explain my point, I'm now gonna go grab some tickets and show you guys how everything works. So as I was explaining just earlier, this new form of gambling that we got is actually a way for ArenaNet to regulate the way the market works. We are gonna now show everyone how you can get your hands on them, because as we just saw, trying to get them via the Black Lion chest is not gonna be very fruitful. So what you can do instead is you can exchange some of your Black Lion claim tickets directly for one of the vintage Black Lion weapon boxes at a rate of 1-to-1. This is something that ArenaNet might decide to change later on, because now that we have this Black Lion weapon box, we have a way of ensuring some even distribution of prices across the board for the Black Lion skins. It is actually exchangeable as of right now, and the price at which it is going is sensibly close to the price that its contents have, as we're going to see in a few moments. Now that this is said and done, we should have a look at how we can get the Black Lion claim tickets in order to get this vintage Black Lion weapon box. So as I was saying, you can get these from Black Lion chest gambling, so the ones that you open with the keys, and your other way of obtaining them is by completing a Black Lion skin collection. So for example here you can see that I have a skin locked for the Mad Realm Greatsword skin, and if I go to the item collection achievement you can see that I only have 2 skins from that collection, and if I actually complete the entirety of it, I can get 7 Black Lion claim tickets. So then it becomes a game, so to speak, of buying the cheap skins that are available as they release in the Black Lion chest, or as they get re-released in it, and unlocking some achievements for these Black Lion claim tickets that you can then exchange for the vintage Black Lion box, and hope that you're gonna get your hands on one of the most expensive skins, which are rather easy to find in it. So we have the Chaos skins right there that are worth quite a bit of money. The Tormented skins are also not too bad. And finally, I think it's at the bottom, we have the Halloween skins, among which the Ghastly Grinning Shield, which is a very expensive one as well. So this is what you will hope to get from the vintage Black Lion weapon box. However, with nearly 600 skins being available in it, the distribution is very poor. So we're now in Excel. This is a spreadsheet that I threw together last night in order to try and analyze what's happening with the Black Lion weapon box. And I will be explaining what you can take from that new gamble or not in just a few moments. First, let's refresh all of our data, which is the most important part. A second refresh for our pivot tables, and that is good to go. So in the vintage box right now we have 37 different skins sets, and that totals to 574 skins. That is quite a bit, and if you were to open the boxes to sell their contents, on average you would be getting after taxes 53 gold and a half. Given the buy orders that we saw right before, you would be making a little bit of profit for sure. Still, this is not something I would advise you to do, because, as we're going to see in just a few moments, it is heavily tilted upwards thanks to the very expensive skins that we talked about earlier: Chaos, Tormented, Ghastly Grinning Shield. If you want to unlock some skins, finish some collections, get the achievements and get your tickets that way, in order to gamble them with that box or to sell the box on the trading post, it is quite easy to do so. Here I have made a very fast pivot table which has the buy order and sell order prices for one ticket from unlocking these collections. So if we scroll down a little bit, we can see that with the gargoyle skins that are among the cheapest and were actually available in the last Black Lion weapon chest, you can get for 32 gold on buy order or 41 gold on sell order an amount of 7 tickets, so that's a price per ticket. So if you were to get the tickets at 41 gold and sell them for an equivalent of 53, you'd be thinking, hey, I'm gonna make some hefty profit, but that's only if you get an average drop across the board, not between the different collections, but between the different prices. Because the cheapest item right now that you can get is only 9 gold 35, and that is very cheap. If you get, like, let's say 5-10 of these in a row, or similarly priced item, you're gonna be losing a lot of gold, because, as we just said, this is a 40 gold a pop gamble. It's quite expensive, it's ranking up there with the Ecto gamble, and that's quite bad. And then again, the main reason why the prices are actually good in a sense right now is because of the expensive skins. I did a little math, and if we exclude the items that are above the standard deviation, we would be getting an estimated value per Black Lion weapon box, the vintage ones, of 48 gold. That's dangerously close to the buy order in the game. And I would really not recommend to do so. So if you actually get a vintage Black Lion weapon box, I'd say just sell it on the trading post for now. As the dust will settle and the prices will even out across the board, maybe we will have a change in pricing. And this actually leads me, finally, into the last part of this video, which are going to be the economic impacts of this new gamble. But before that, it's time for our ad section. This spreadsheet that you saw just now is quite easy to make, but if you are among the lazy ones, or if you want some help in understanding what's going on, you should sub to my Patreon. This sheet, among many others, is available for only $1 a month. No scams, nothing more than that, just $1, you get all the sheets and you can ask any question. That's the end of the ad segment. And now that we are back in the game, the last thing I should talk about is what I think are going to be the economical impacts of this new gamble on the game. So first of all, what I think it is going to do is it's going to actually correct some prices across the board. What I said earlier is that there are some skins that are extremely cheap when they get introduced back into the Black Lion chest. So right here we had a skin that was in the more rare category, but it's only 28 gold. That's really not much. What this new item is going to do is it's going to eventually correct these prices upwards so that items remain at around that price. An entire skin set costing 15 gold per skin is probably not going to be a thing in the future anymore with this chest, and I think that is a very good change, because for the people who use their gems, decide to gamble, to have some funds, etc., it is quite nice to have something that's worth a little bit of gold instead of just one supposedly uncommon or rare skin being priced between 15 to 30 gold. So with this said, however, I don't think that this chest is gonna destroy the prices on the more expensive skin sets. So if we look, for example, at the Chaos skins, we can see that most of them are still being priced quite high. The ones that are not worth much are the underwater weapons. Everything else is priced quite well. The reason why it is still priced like this is because even if the buy orders decide to drop because they might just get filled from someone being lucky and dropping one of these, it's not like you have that much of a chance to get them. If you wanted to have, let's say, the entire series of the Chaos skins, you probably need to open a few hundred of these vintage boxes, and that would amount to thousands upon thousands of gold, meaning not everybody has the means to do so. Now that I've said this, my conclusion on the economic impacts of this Black Lion weapon box is that it will not have a lasting impact other than preventing some skin sets from being too cheap because there is an incentive to complete the collection and get the boxes, but at the same time, it's not like it's gonna break down the value of the top most expensive skins. The only thing that makes or breaks the skin market is the reintroduction in the Black Lion weapon chest. If you have some questions about that, it's in the same spreadsheet I was showcasing just a few moments earlier. Remember, only $1 on Patreon. And now it's time to conclude this video. I hope that you guys have found this entertaining or interesting and that you've learned a thing or two from my analysis of this new item in Guild Wars 2. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them in the comment section. And if you don't have any, please still leave a like and subscribe to the channel because that helps me tremendously in bringing some more content your way. And now I wish every single one of you some happy trading and to get rich.